Welcome. It's Valentine's Day,
Yes.
and in the true
Still.
degenerate fashion that we are, as League of Legends player. Well, I'm a League of Legends player. I don't know about you. I would hope you've picked up the game by now. Um, we're talking about League of Legends because, of course, we are. Um, and in Valentine's fashion, we have a little bit of a more wholesome show for you this evening. Um, which is also part of the reason why I decided to open up the show tonight on the Armin van Buren. As always, I have with me the disembodied at Squid Sports head, Dr. Manhattan. Good evening, sir.
Good
Hey,
evening.
no homo happy Valentine's to you.
No homo. Happy Valentine's Day to you as
Not,
well.
not that we're against that sort of thing here on the Not a Network.
You know, I put that in the clips. I don't know how long ago. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Did he actually put that in the clips?
Pretty sure I did.
You reminded me about Steve Ballmer, John Madden, Cuba Gooding Jr., Archer Phrasing, Billy Madison. No, you didn't, actually.
Well, some of the bitch. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in there now.
Which I probably will go through and work on that after we're off air tonight. Possibly.
But yeah, there's an infamous saying about hope that I'm not going to fully repeat if we're sticking with the wholesome angle. And B, I think you and I have different meanings of the word degenerate, especially when it comes to this time of year. And thirdly, shout out to another member of the Not a Network, Harry Broadhurst. Happy 38th.
Yes, happy birthday to our one and only Mr. Harry Broadhurst. You can see him tomorrow night with myself on Spoiler Alert here on the Not a Network. Scheduled start time is 10:30 p.m. because we don't do anything during the day around here.
10:30 p.m. Eastern for those of you in different time zones.
Yeah, we probably should clarify that. So there was this, thing that happened Sunday that people made a pretty big deal about. I think we have to have a quick Parallel Convergence Sports Report.
Sports and bits and bytes.
Especially when it bleeds over, and people in the esports world are talking about the superb owl.
Mutter, costing me money. Mutter.
I told you, Mahomes took that shit personally.
Yeah, well, it wasn't holding. That's all I'm gonna say. Not the first time.
No, look. 98% of America, I'm pretty sure, believes that wasn't holding, but
not the first time that I've been screwed out of a playoff game in success because of a referee's decision. But I digress.
We are going to go to check the tweets here if you want to pull that up real quick as a part of our Parallel Convergence Sports Report segment this evening.
Tweeting, ephemeral, fleeting, Lugenweb, base code, with zone, ask mode, checks the tweets, und also E-Mails.
And also emails. We got some other major news out of the second half of the Super Bowl, besides the fact that Rihanna's pregnant again. She's also confirmed to be a new character in Smash Brothers Brawl.
You can only imagine what kind of abilities that she would have especially when you get up to 300%.
I ain't touching that with an 11-foot pole, buddy.
I could have made it a lot worse.
I
trust
know,
me.
and I'm still not touching that with an 11-foot pole. I like Rihanna. I'm going to leave it at that. We're trying to have a wholesome show this evening, sir. In more serious news, though, apparently I'm hitting share screen and not share tab. Hey, you know what? That's fine. Travis Kelce saying that no one believed the Kansas City Chiefs and Mahomes couldn't win the Super Bowl is like the LCK or LPL saying that they're underdogs when they go to Worlds.
I mean, the man is not wrong. He is not wrong.
Kansas City was definitely not underdogs here, right? The media made them underdogs. We talked about this in pretty decent depth.
Technically, if you look at betting and patterns and everything leading into the game, consensus was Eagles -1.5.
Yeah, but I saw a statistic, which is actually in this tweet or on a subtweet here. I have to go back and find it. Something about 70% of total bets were for the Eagles.
Yes.
I don't know. That seems to make, I mean, even all the pregame shows, like everywhere, not just Fox. I think it's pretty safe to say the media made Kansas City an underdog. I mean, we talked about this on Sunday. Philadelphia got overhyped. When you overhype one team, you kind of end up underhyping another one.
But here's the thing, and I even said this. I agreed when you said they were overvalued, but I don't know necessarily about overhyped because I'm looking at not just day of, not just even the couple of days of.
When you make the distinction between overvalued and overhyped, even I would argue even further with overvaluing causes Kansas City to fall into that minority.
Yeah, then that's
underdog slot.
Yeah, because if you look at the 70% of bets, it wasn't like people flocking in spending $120 million in Vegas day of. That was their total. And congratulations to Vegas sportsbooks. They wound up with a nice, tidy, damn near $12 million profit. All of those bets came in throughout those entire 2 weeks. And I saw those lines and everything swinging back and forth right after Championship Sunday. And then it settled quickly and it just stayed there. Had more bets come against the Chiefs, then that spread would have moved much more.
I'll agree to disagree with you on that one.
Okay.
I don't want to, because I don't want to run out of talking points for Thursday.
Fair.
On the Broadhurst Watkins Sports Report, an actual show on this network.
Sports in black and white. I just said that.
No. You got to do the rest of the promo, buddy. It's your show.
Well, again, you already had mentioned the Thursdays. We usually shoot for about 9 p.m. Eastern. Twitter.com/NotANetworkPods, Twitch.tv/NotANetworkPods, YouTube.com/@NotANetworkPods. Myself and Harry will be breaking down the Super Bowl. We will reveal who won the 57th Superb Owl Super Parlay. And we're going to begin our transition as this is our final NFL show of the season and going into the all sports editions, which, holy Lord, is there going to be a lot to talk about.
Yeah, y'all got some catching up to do.
Oh, trust me. Catch us not this coming Thursday, but next Thursday. MLB spring training and all that mess. Some of it we'll talk about on the next episode of 4 Seconds. All the craziness in the NBA. Aussie Rules is coming up. It's a lot.
Why is Vazzy trending with stuff about... Okay, I'm going to have to go back and check the stats on the Lightning game, apparently, because when Vazzy starts trending, that can't be good. It's either he made an epic save or he's had a terrible night. But yeah, I can't agree more with Tyler here. Kansas City in reality is like a 4th seed LCK LPL team, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're good. In fact, it's a little difficult, but you could almost compare them to DRX.
Yeah.
I know that's a stretch, but
a bit of a stretch. Oh. Okay. Interesting.
What?
3-3-3-45 left in the third.
Yeah, of course you'd go and look it up for me. I think you could really stretch this, but not it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to kind of say Kansas City was DRX at Worlds last year.
Mm-hmm.
There were people that counted them out against bigger giants like, a T1, a Gen G, a JDG, but those guys ended up, at least in the case of Gen G and JDG, being entirely way too overhyped and falling flat on their ass in groups and knockouts, respectively. Maybe not respectively. I might have that backwards, but Kansas City is kind of like RNG, or wow, am I saying RNG? That's what I meant to say. RNG, not Gen G. Sorry. Kansas City, kind of like DRX, right? It's like, yeah, they have the capability to go the distance, but there's still better teams out there, or at least perceived to be better teams out there, right? But when they go ahead and win it, it's like, yeah, you're not really an underdog. You just got undervalued.
And this is like my point. If you're looking at Kansas City holistically in the past 5 years, I don't necessarily think so. I think you'd have to compare them to a different team. If you're looking at Kansas City just in the 20
again, I'm making this a bit of a stretch here for the sake of conversation.
But if you're looking at them for 2022 and strictly 2022, how it panned out, yes, it was very much in a DRX fashion. Very much so.
Now, what we're hoping, is that Kansas City doesn't end up like 2023 DRX and being utterly gutted and dismantled.
No, there are other teams that are going to have that distinction. Kansas City, if you look at them with the salary cap, they're okay.
But congratulations to Kansas City. If you want to hear me talk more about football, go back to the archives on twitter.com/notanetworkpods. The archives of Point of Viewer are there. Warning, it is a not safe for work show. I definitely would not play that in the office, or if you do have headphones on, maybe don't watch the video. There's a reason why that show's on Twitter only. Or, go back or wait for Thursday night. I'll be guesting on the Broadhurst Watkins Sports Report again.
It's sports in black and white.
Thank you. So I'll be, delivering my final takes on the NFL season and the Super Bowl as a whole before they kick me off the show for 5 months or 4 months or however long the off season is.
Well, it depends on if you follow other sports like Major League Pickleball or Wiffle Ball or lacrosse.
I'll probably be back for the Stanley Cup Finals, and then I'll be off until the draft comes up, and then they'll do the draft show, and then that'll be it until preseason actually gets underway. Oh, that reminds me, I've got something to talk about tomorrow or Thursday night with you guys.
Oh, plus with this, yes, on BWSR, we will be covering both the XFL and the USFL during the NFL offseason.
A certain player with the number 12 jersey filed certain paperwork with the NFL office officially yesterday.
Well, there it goes. There it is.
So unless a certain, player with the number 12 jersey pulls a Brett Favre, as I have said before, he's actually done.
Well, no, he can't now because he's filed the papers. He'd have to wait a year.
No, he could still pull a Brett Favre and petition Goodell for reinstatement like Brett Favre did.
Yeah, and petitioning people and going to higher powers really worked well for Brett Favre in the recent years, hasn't it?
Look, it got him reinstated in the short term. As far as him on a team in the long run, well, that's his own dumbass's fault.
Wasn't even talking about that.
But yeah, I will have my moment of enjoying rubbing that in y'all's faces. Because I'm sorry, it's really not much more final than him filing his retirement paperwork.
I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I said the same thing, and I've said the same thing about many other players. Hashtag papers, please. Show me you filed the papers, and I will believe you're done. I say it now. He's filed the papers. Now I believe he's done.
So I just love it when I'm right. That's all I'm going to say. Look, this is the hill that I'm dying on because I'm 100% convinced of what I said a few weeks ago in the BWSR chat and last week on air, where he has evaluated his career and he's like, look, my best years of playing football are behind me. I'm not tarnishing my career any further by potentially putting up another crappy ass year. I'm going to get out while this is only an asterisk on my career and not a stain.
At least you're tolerable when you're right.
And that's the hill I die on when it comes to Tom Brady 12. But moving on to league news today. As we enter the actual league portion of this program.
You weren't kidding when you said about some of these and hitting me in the feels.
Well, before we go to Feelsville, Dash is the road show that they were talking about with Dash has made its debut. And you can pretty much sum up the entire premise of the show in the first 5 seconds of the video.
Even without sound.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen. Stop. I thought it was going to. I knew that was probably going to happen when I saw that it was sharing the entire screen and not the tab by itself. All right, let's try that again, shall we?
Let's.
Diving out of a plane, let's go!
Yo, what's up, everybody? Dash here.
Like I said, that's all you need to know about the whole fucking video. Go watch it. No, I'm serious. Like, I can't explain it any better than literally that clip of Dash yelling, "We're jumping out of a fucking plane."
I mean, you're not wrong. Having seen it, a great way
They
to intertwine
showed-
some stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, they showed a much more condensed. I think it was like a 3-minute version of this video.
Mm-hmm.
On the broadcast last week, which is how I found out about it. I like this. I think this is them using Dash in a capacity that he's more like. This uses his talents, but at the same time, he's also talented on the desk. So I'm kind of like, they should have treated Dash how they treated Freak back in like the 2015s, 2016s with like primetime league and everything.
True.
Like, why didn't we get this side of Dash sooner? Like, I still want him on the desk, right? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say that this format is growing on me, but it hasn't become intolerable. Right? Like, week 1 with Princess Annoying Fuckface.
Well, there goes the Wholesome show.
And we can come back to the Wholesome, trust me. That was unbearable. I did not want to watch that. If she was like a permanent part of the show, I would not have watched another game the rest of the season, even with the fact that Doublelift is playing. That's how, like, that is how much I did not like her on the broadcast. And it's nothing against her. It's just, it was way too fucking cringe.
Yeah.
It was god-awfully cringe. I don't want my LCS to be god-awfully cringe, right? That's Bush League, right? That's fucking 2013, 2014, 2015 league is cringe. Not 2023 league. So I want Dash back, right? Even if it's, even if they're not having a traditional analyst desk with the desk and everything, and they're all sitting around a couch. Dash is pretty fucking knowledgeable about this game. He's proved it on more than one occasion.
Yeah, he's got his bona fides, as you like to say.
So why the fuck are we not including him? Like, seriously. Why is Dash so different from a Raz or a Kobe or a Jat or... Well, I'm pretty sure that's the male talent that we've got on the desk on the quote unquote desk right now. Like, let's get Dash rotating in as well, right? If we can rotate in pro players, which I think is amazing, by the way, how they're rotating pro players in on some of the casts, like the actual game casts.
Yeah, just like BattleBots is doing with some of the drivers and captains on other fights.
We got to get our boy Dash back on the air. Other than this, I can't say other than, because Riot's going to sit here be like, okay, Andesian, you said you don't want him doing Dash Made Me anymore, so we're just going to put him back on air every 4 weeks, and that's all the Dash you get. No, look at my face. Look at me. Look at me. I am the captain now. No.
Okay, first of all, second of all, it was hilarious, even though I anticipated it. I knew what you were about to do, and it was still funny.
You really knew I was going for that reference?
At the minute you started with the whole face thing, yes. I'm like, okay, I think he's going to lead with this. Then I saw the fingers, and I'm like, he's really going to lead to this. Here it is.
Yeah, no, but seriously, look at me, Ryan. I'm the fucking audience, right? I'm the audience. Do not take this away from Dash. Please put him back on the actual live broadcast.
To
I will
sum it
also
up,
accept an annual salary of $55,000 or greater with 2 weeks paid time off. One of those weeks must be Labor Day weekend. And I need a job from my buddy Squid Sports Head as well.
hello, I'll accept a slightly lower salary, but health benefits and that same week leading up to Labor Day weekend off, please and thank you.
And if you need somebody else who is insanely good at numbers and insanely good at teaching people about numbers, I got somebody else we could probably drag along too. I don't know how much John would like California, though. I don't know. I feel like he'd be at Prices Right. Like he'd want to go to like every game show taping possible on the weekends.
Now, granted, if it's California, you may
I
want
mean,
to.
we'd more than likely have to relocate to Santa Monica. Yeah.
Fine by me, but you're going to want to bump that number up a bit. I've seen cost of living out there. Now, granted,
That's why I said 55,000 minimum, because more than likely you and I are sharing a space. And if we both got a job at Riot, we're pooling salaries.
okay, fair point. That would work. Oh, granted, John would be at Prices Right. I would be at, I don't know.
That reminds me, I got to put it in the Lilacs talent. We got bad news.
Wait a minute. Are you coming up to me saying,
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I knew it. I'm off.
Yes, and if you want to know what it is, tune in to Life is Like a Game show next Tuesday here. Actually, no, sorry, that's on Thursdays now. I can't even remember my own damn network schedule. Tune in Thursday night, 11 p.m. ish, after the conclusion of the Broadhurst Watkins Sports Report, where we'll have that as a topic on the news desk.
uh-oh, I don't like the sound of this.
Yeah, I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
Thank you, Randy West, however.
But yeah, he would be at Prices Right. I would be at Vegas in different dispensaries. And then, yeah.
I don't know where the hell I'd be. I'd probably be all over. There's so many gaming headquarters in California and LA. I'd probably just be wanting to go visit all the different gaming HQs. And then I'd probably go out to Vegas. I've been to Vegas before, you know that?
I can believe that. And yes, especially if we were
I have a funny story about that.
If we are pooling salaries and everything and we're relocating, we will be getting the band back together at Vegas at some point.
I went to Vegas at 12. Was it 12? I think it was 12. Yeah, 12, 13, somewhere around there. I got to gamble. Okay, so I didn't officially gamble, but I did get to put a quarter in a slot machine.
Okay, I mean, it's kind of the same thing like an incident that may or may not have happened at a racetrack in Maryland when I was 13.
And I got to go to, what did we go to? Like 3 different casinos. I remember the Stratosphere, I remember Circus, and there was another one that I don't remember.
Okay.
My sisters took me on, my much older sisters, took me on a cross-country RV trip that started in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
That's also why I fear flying.
Okay.
I had to fly by myself, unaccompanied, from Orlando to Austin.
Well, luckily...
Non-stop direct flight over the Gulf in the middle of May.
Yeah. Luckily, if everything goes well and things happen ahead of July, we'd be flying together.
I don't fly.
Well, I would be.
Y'all gotta knock my ass out. Like I'm gonna need some of your things, that we can't discuss on air, or a shitload of some good ass rum, like some Kraken.
Oh no, I'd be able to hook you up with both. Can't have it on the plane, but if you sneak it in places at the airport.
Like I said, as long as they don't declare me unfit to fly, I'm good.
I can time it well.
For you, maybe. For me, that's a different story. I don't know how well the shit's going to hit.
Practice, question mark?
Yeah, that's pretty literally, that's what it's going to come down to. But yeah, Dash made me do it. Or, well, they're calling it Dash made me, but effectively Dash made me do it. They had Dokla and Poom from CLG go up in a fucking plane and skydive. I can't wait to see what they do next, but apparently what they're doing at the end of the video is
like
suck
oh
in the
shit.
air.
they're having
First of all, credit to these two because, like we
They're
said at
having
the
them
top of the
call
episode,
out
these guys
people
jumped in
from
with
other,
less than
like two people
24
from
hours
other
notice
teams
and committed to jumping out of the
Right.
plane, doing something crazy with me
to do
on their first
go do
weekend
something
off day.
crazy with
But we want to
Dash.
make it a little bit of a tradition on this show that if you come on, you have the right to challenge a future LCS pro to do something crazy. So straight here to this camera, I want a name from each of you, not from your own team. That's the only stipulation. They can't be from your own team. Who would you like to challenge to be on the show next? It'll be something other than skydiving.
I challenge Speaker.
Speaker, let's go over from FlyQuest.
And I challenge Tenacity.
And Tenacity in the top lane for 100 Thieves. I think those are fantastic call outs. All right, well, there you have it. Speaking Tenacity, the challenge is out. Do you accept? That's the question.
Hey, I'm Poom. I'm Dokla. And Dash made us go skydiving.
Let's go!
Like I said, I'm excited. I like this. This needs to keep up. I hope the two accept. But let's get away from some excitement, shall we? I think it is time for us to be hit in the feels.
What if I don't wanna? My feels are feeling as is.
Yeah, too bad. We got a short clip here, and then we've got something to follow up on this. But as we all know, FlyQuest played 100 Thieves this past week on the LCS, and I said tactical. Prince, thank you. Wow, yeah, losing my train of thought here. Prince and Doublelift had a post-game meeting outside the studio, and it was definitely wholesome to say the least. Take a look.
I know he would. We can do
Oh wow, thank you, bro. Thank you. You're so good. You're actually the best agent.
I'm most nervous now.
Really?
In my
Really? Oh no, it's okay, bro. It's good. It's nice to meet you. It's really nice to meet you.
Thank you for
No problem, bro. It's really fun actually playing against you. Wow. No, it's okay. It's okay. That's awesome, bro. I'm really happy actually.
Oh,
I can't hold it. Okay. Oh shit. I'm an idiot. Sorry.
make it.
Thank you, bro. Respect. Thank you. Really nice to meet you. Oh, fuck.
You're my
Oh, thank you.
Every single game of LCS.
I don't know about you, man, but that just hits me in the feels.
I know. It's like, bro.
Because it's like, honestly, this video shows an evolution and a maturation of Doublelift, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a guy who very famously went all over YouTube and Twitter for calling, quote, everybody else's trash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably around the time that. Well, Eddie, yeah. Well, I'm about to make us all feel old here, right? There's a here's a full interview that we got out of Travis Gafford, and I'm not going to play it because it's like 6 minutes long, but there's a part of it here where Prince is like, yeah, man, I started watching you when I was 11 years old, and a montage video of yours came to Korea, like went viral in Korea. So, the fact that, Prince is getting to play against Doublelift, a guy who, honestly, I'm just going to put it this way. If I were Prince, I would probably be acting the same motherfucking way. Like, Doublelift is a huge idol to me as well. So if I ever got good and went pro and I got to face off against Doublelift, like, Doublelift is so humble in this entire interview. It's crazy, right? Like, Doublelift doesn't have to be this humble, right? He could just say, oh, man, hey, you're cool, Like, he could be civil, but not humble. But no, this dude just goes straight up, like, full humble. And he's like, nah, man, you are literally the best ADC in the LCS right now. It's you, that it's me, that it's pretty much everybody else. Like, Doublelift's still getting his trash talk hits in now and again, but it almost feels like Doublelift in this video, like, and with this interaction, has kind of handed the torch off in almost every respect to Prince, right? It's like, no, dude, you're the younger version of me, and I'm all here for it because, like, you remind me of my younger self, right?
Oh yeah,
all the way down to the trash talking. Because if you've been following the LCS, we've talked about it a little bit here on the show before. Prince has not been afraid to get on Twitter, even with the language barrier, right? English is clearly not his first language, and he's still learning it, but he has had no problem getting on Twitter and, tweeting out trash talk to his opponents every week. Which, honestly, really is a young Doublelift.
Yeah. I saw Doublelift, and you put it perfectly. He's like, man, you remind me of me. I like that.
And, like, we'll put the link in the chat here. I can copy this real quick. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, you should see it in a moment. If you're watching on any of our Twitter feeds, I do apologize. You're not going to see the link come through there because of our software that we use for streaming. But check out that Travis Gafford interview. We love Travis around here. Travis is a good guy, makes great content. Obviously, there's the story of Travis and Doublelift, and they're very close. So of course, we always love to see the Travis Doublelift interviews. I think Travis is the only person who calls Doublelift Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'll call every other pro by their name, by their pro name. He calls Doublelift Peter. But there's a couple of documentaries out there. I think Travis even edited one together himself about their story together and pretty much how Doublelift's career really wouldn't exist without Travis. It's another one of those kind of hits you in the feel stories. But yeah, no, this is it's just very wholesome. It's a very wholesome interview. It's like Prince the entire time is just sitting there like shaking and speechless and can't even like he already can't English, but now he can't even English, right? Like they're trying to ask him questions, and he's just like, "I'm standing next to Doublelift right now in an interview. This man is my idol. What is my life? I can die happy now."
Exactly. It's like I can't words. I don't want to words. Let me just sink all this in.
Yeah, he's like, "I just want to go enjoy this moment." And there's one point in this interview that's especially funny, where it's Travis asks him something to the effect of, what's the most nervous you've been in your life? He's like, "The second most nervous was when I was playing Doublelift. The most nervous is right now." But yeah, no, both of them are super humbled at each other's performances against them. Like, this is like some wholesome shit that you love to see, and I really hope that Riot kind of officially picks up this narrative and keeps it going moving forward.
It'd be very, very healthy to see. Very healthy.
But besides that, I mean, we could go over the standings real quick. I think I put in like a couple of did I even put in a couple of things on this? No, I didn't. I didn't put in any words on this week's shows or this week's matches.
Actually, yes, you did.
Oh, yeah. We are talking about Doublelift. We are talking about 100 Thieves to a lesser extent here. Honestly, I have to say, I think I watched the 100 T game, specifically the one over Team Liquid, and this past week. That was like the big game that I watched. I gotta admit, 100 Thieves are looking pretty damn unstoppable in this split so far. I think that week one game, with the Azir support and everything, was the fluke of the season, right? Like, Doublelift had a crazy game, 0 deaths over Team Liquid last week. Like, he just dominated over him, right? So I'm definitely keeping my eyes on 100 Thieves and obviously on FlyQuest, who are also equally performing absolutely fucking insanely. To be my top 2 spots for spring playoffs right now. I think they've shown they've got solid rosters. They can, make solid leads occur in games. Doublelift clearly has proven that he is not washed. Contrary to whatever statements he may be making. I've noticed that Doublelift, upon his return, he's brought out a little bit of the trash talk, but at the same time, like, he's owned up to his failures, so to speak. There are moments where he's like, "Man, I look so washed here. Like, I did not play this right." Like, Doublelift's always been pretty critical on himself, but I don't think he's ever been as critical as he's been this split on himself, right? Like, the time away from the LCS, I think, has matured him in a good way. And him coming back to pro play, the person and the player that he is now, is really going to benefit the LCS and as a whole, and definitely 100 Thieves.
And I think it's good to wear, because you said yourself, the more humility, the more, hey, this is where I'm at, maturity, all these things in Doublelift. It's like, hey, I know I'm not what I was, and he's his own harshest critic. And I really think that's not only given himself a mental boost, and you've seen it, as you mentioned, in his play, that's going to be a bigger boost for 100 Thieves. So I'm inclined to agree. Let's see how long this train can roll.
Yeah, I think this trade's got plenty of steam, and it is not wanting to pull into a station anytime soon. I think the next stop is spring finals for this team, probably against FlyQuest. I would not be surprised 100% at all. You can come back and quote me on this later, as I've said so many times before.
Hold on, because yes, we have something for.
Predictions made moments before disaster. Yeah, no, honestly, I would not be surprised at all if if spring finals is 100 Thieves and FlyQuest. But other than that, we talk about the standings real quick. Let me pull them up. LOL Esports. And then apparently you and I are going to have to listen to League of Legends is the LCS's official podcast, The Dive, this week.
Uh-oh.
Because apparently they brought in Sven, C9 Ven, to do a small segment for The Dive. And it turned out to be an 80-minute long rant that they pretty much just made the entire episode. And my Twitter's been lighting up over it.
Oh, great. All right.
So I'm going to have to listen to this and see what kind of merit it's got. And we'll probably be talking about it next week.
Well, at least I'll have time because I'm combing through quite a bit of existing Twitter homework, or rather YouTube homework, if you will.
So FlyQuest sitting at the top of the charts at 6-0. They are currently undefeated. Evil Geniuses, Cloud9, and 100 Thieves, all sitting in a tie for second place. As we hit some buttons here to make some things pop up. There we go. At forward 2, TSM not looking terrible at 3-3 alongside, honestly, I feel like underperforming Team Liquid. Again, what have I said? Super teams are cursed, right? I don't care what kind of super team you put together on paper. The moment somebody calls it a super team, congratulations, you're cursed. It's like talking about the no-hitter in baseball.
Oh, I can give an exact example. Vince Young, Philadelphia Eagles.
I don't get that one. The no-hitter in baseball sounded better to me.
He literally said when he was on the Eagles with Michael Vick, when Michael Vick was really doing his thing in his renaissance, and this was like right on the tail end of Andy Reid's coaching career there, he was like, on Monday Night Football, he said, oh, we're a super team. They cratered after that. You can look it up yourself.
So it doesn't just exist in the LCS. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
It's still also pretty analogous to talking about the no-hitter in progress, though.
No-hitter and a perfect game, yes.
Like, you put together this team that's supposed to be capable of, sweeping the league, and you're batting 500 right now. If I'm going to continue the baseball references here. Unfortunately, that was my last one. Team Liquid is really going to have to hold all of their opponents to no runs and hit some sizable walk-off homers to claw back from 5th place.
And go ahead and make sure that their bullpen is right, apparently.
All right, now about a baseball puns. Immortals 2-4. I can't say anybody didn't see this coming. CLG, I'm a little disappointed at. They started off great, and they seem to have fallen into a slump. Golden Guardians 2-4 as well. Nothing I could really say about Golden Guardians. I think that's give them a year. Maybe they can come up into the mid-card level of the standings. 0-6 Dignitas, clearly the offseason moves or lack thereof, didn't work out so well for them. And as you so eloquently put it, they got to get their bullpen right. And maybe in the spring, the spring split off season, when the limited trade window opens up, maybe they start playing some Moneyball. Because, of course, we can't have baseball references without a Moneyball reference.
Especially nowadays. I still love that book.
I still love that movie. I'm telling you, you put anybody other than Matt Damon in that role, that movie would have flopped.
For Billy Bean, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't Matt Damon.
Not. You know who I'm talking about. Why did I just call him Matt Damon?
Because he's Brad Pitt?
Yeah. You can send your hate mail to HCP for Eagle at yahoo.com. Try to be easy. Try to go easy on him, though, because today's his birthday. In fact, you should definitely send your birthday wishes to @HEB the Eagle on Twitter. Make sure you tell him Andesian and Squid sent you. Speaking of, Moneyball and getting bullpens right, I think it's time for us to go get our bullpen right, because that's the show. I mean, I don't have anything else to talk about unless you know something I don't.
I mean, I got nothing. Not gonna lie. Got nothing.
Yeah, no, we're, Valentine's Day. We're going to keep the show nice and short for you guys. We hope everybody out there, who's celebrating Valentine's Day with your loved ones, we hope you're having a wonderful Valentine's Day evening.
And may this be the only thing that's nice and short this evening.
Hi-yo! Giggity, 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 goo! Oh, wait, this is supposed to be a family show, isn't it? No, it isn't. My name's Blue for a reason. I don't care. I make the rules, damn it.
You're the one who wanted to make it wholesome to begin with.
Anyways, that's the show, folks. Good night. Where's my freaking end button? Do you want to take us out of here while I look up the thing?
Twitter.com/NotANetworkPods, Twitch.tv/NotANetworkPods, YouTube.com/@NotANetworkPods. Also at the Indesian on Twitter, at Squid Sportshead on Twitter, Twitch.tv/Andesian, which someone in a disembodied form may or may not come in and do some cutting up if anything happens. Yeah. Tune in next week.
There you go. You heard it here, folks. We'll be back next week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Andesian saying thanks for listening and watching Parallel Convergence. Good night. Look, I don't have the freaking. It's an intro, all right. An outro. Live with it.
Oh, mister, I can pull up the intro and the outro at the same time.
Are we really going to argue over the end credits like this?
Baby?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck either. Thanks for watching, folks. We're going to hit the end button early now.
I hope I'm not the only one that feels it all.